Coach, stay tuned for today's anatomy lesson. The anatomy of the air raid, that is.
Light 72. Light 72.
All right, coaches, welcome back to the 92 Meshgroup channel, your home on YouTube for the air raid offense. I'm Coach George Coulthard coming to you today from North Carolina, and hopefully you guys are having a good week. And, hey, listen, if you love the air raid and high school football in general, we'd love if you join us here on the community. We'd love if you'd subscribe to the channel and maybe click that bell so you know when we go live. We're going to try to get back to more of our regularly scheduled uploads as we get later on in the year. I'm rocking my new hat from one of our air raid system members down in Brazil, the head coach of the Cascavel Olympians, and it's pretty cool. He hit me up on Facebook and we talked a little bit, and then he wanted to join the system, and they're trying to grow the game down there, and I love their saying. It's embrace the myth, become the legend. Embrace the myth, become the legend. And like I said, they're the Olympians out of Cascavel, Brazil. Really appreciate the hat. Thank you guys so much. We've sold systems all over the world: Austria, Germany, Brazil, Australia, Canada, United States, obviously, Mexico. Really excited about the air raid and it growing. And if you'd like to join that community, we still have our air raid sale going on right now for the total air raid system. You can get it for 50% off using the code Yosef in honor of my boys Appalachian State who are doing that good work. So thinking about this, when I saw this hat, I started thinking about language and how we talk to one another and how do you communicate if you don't understand. I spent a little time working with a wing T guy, and I will tell you, it drove me absolutely bonkers because, 1 was to the right and 9 was to the left. And I'm sorry if I just put your secret out there, but, that's how they do things. They go, 21 was to the right and 29 was to the left. And that blew my mind because for me, odds are left and evens are right. I'm not saying which one is right or different. It was just something different. And it's just like kind of, some people call a 4 technique head up. Some people call it inside. Some people call it 5, a 6. It just depends on what you want to do. Baxter is in here doing videos with me today. No, it's not time to play with your Kong, pal. But, so it got me thinking about what we're going to do in communicating and why for me, it was important to kind of have a central language and not change everything when I learned the offense. And for me, what it was I wanted to be able to go to clinics and talk to people and not have to have a translator. And some people, and look, I'm not throwing shade at people who do this, but some people want to change names on everything. Mexico is Mesh and Texas and all this other stuff. And I'm like, look, I want to go sit down with Lincoln Riley, and when I say 92 or he says 92, I want to know what he means. And so that's why when I learned the offense from Coach Mummy and Coach Salas and those guys, I kept everything the same because I wanted to be able to go into circles and talk the talk. I didn't want to have to say, oh, well, that's what we call, Phoenix left over, whatever it is. And then a lot of people like to take things and mix them up. I know people who have numbers for their receivers, and I know Coach Mackey actually uses L's and R's like lefts and rights. And there's no right or wrong answer to all of that stuff. I just like to be able to speak to the general. So what I thought I would do today is talk about the anatomy of a play. How do we call plays in the air raid offense? And how do we do that? And so what we basically do is, first of all, we look at our tempo, whether we're in NASCAR, which is our fast tempo, and if you want to learn more about that, that's also in the total air raid system as well, or if we're just in our regular tempo, and you can watch this even on TV with any of these guys, and they all do the same thing. But let's just say we're going to play in our regular up-tempo spot. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to signal in your formation. And for us, one finger is ace. So we'll go ace, 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 and you'll see the quarterback as soon as the ball is snapped. And one of the keys to playing fast, guys, is to tell your quarterback always stay behind the center. That was one of the things that we had a hard time with when we first put this in, was our quarterback wanted to walk towards the sideline because he felt like he had to get closer or whatever. And I didn't know if he needed glasses or what it was, but we had to get him to stay behind the center. So he's going to stay behind the center, and he's going to go to each side, ace, ace, ace. And everybody's looking at the quarterback, okay? I don't like for the whole offense to look over to the sideline. I want everybody looking at the quarterback. So the quarterback is is going to do that. He's going to signal to everybody. And then the next thing he's going to do is he's going to signal the play. Baxter, give me that. And the play is this, you know, he's going to go to his head or his arm or his chest or whatever that is, whether it's 90, 60, and go 92. And then, so now everybody's looking at him. Okay, so it's 92, 92, 92. So he's going to signal in, he's going to signal in mesh. And so now we have our play. And then, of course, if there's a tag, there's a tag. And then the next thing that's going to happen is the running back is going to tell the offensive line which side he's on. So in this case, he's on the right. He's going to go ram, ram, ram. And that's going to let them guys know what's going on as far as where he's at. And then based on the box, the center is going to give us either a nickel or an even call. And in this case, it'll be a nickel call. And so that lets them know that we're going to go 1, 2, and the center is going to work over here. And so then it's ready, go. And that's just kind of how we do it, you know. So we're going to look at our tempo. We're going to signal in on our formation. Then we're going to get our play. We'll get the protection call. The quarterback will make any kind of checks he needs to make. And then we're going to snap the football. That's kind of how we do it. That's why the language is really important. You know, like I said, I just really like to be able to speak the language. And that's why I keep things consistent. Once again, shout out to my boys down at Cascaville. Olympians, really appreciate the hat. You can follow them on Facebook. They have a Facebook page and you can see what they're trying to do down there in Brazil. Really excited about it. And, you know, we'd love to have you, like I said, subscribe to the channel, join the community. Also, you know, if you would want to be a Patreon, we still have that going on. 92 Meshgroup Patreon at patreon.com, 92 Meshgroup. I'll put a link in the description. And just like I said, man, as always, spin it to win.